welcome back. It's No Apologies on Beck, and it's segment 5, our final segment. Thank you for sticking with us.
So this one's a little interesting. I saw an article that was written, it was a little post by somebody on LinkedIn, and it caught my attention because it had a weird title to it. It said rapid hiring. And rapid hiring is apparently a thing now amongst the workforce, amongst the big companies. It was by Chip Cutter on LinkedIn News, and he says companies flock to rapid hiring. Well, I'm like, I got to figure out what that is. So I found this post by him, and I'll show you a little screenshot of this right off the bat here. It says, there's a new obsession inside companies to speed up hiring and to ease qualification requirements altogether. UPS is making some job offers in as little as 10 minutes. CVS Health no longer requires college graduates to submit their grades. The beauty product retailer The Body Shop is dropping educational requirements and background checks for job applicants. So that got my attention. So I dug a little deeper into this to find out
Lord
that...
knows you don't want someone who's selling you soap to have a criminal record.
Well, okay.
I'm sorry.
Fair.
Okay.
It's fair. So this is, it's a freedom issue too, it is. It's fair. That's why I was going to look into it, because I thought it was interesting. So the original story was a Wall Street Journal story that was written by Lauren Weber and this Chip Cutter who had that LinkedIn post. And it is titled, Help Really Wanted, No Degree, Work Experience, or Background Checks. That was the title of the article. And let's take a look at this Wall Street Journal. I've pulled a few things of interest out here. First of all, in a labor market where job openings outnumber applicants, companies are brainstorming how to get more candidates in the door and to the floor. The hiring overhaul signals a potentially broad rethink of job qualifications, a change that could help millions of people enter jobs previously out of reach, according to economists and workforce experts. I'm always a little dubious when people say economists and workforce experts because I don't know who those people are, who they're choosing. But I like the idea of making it easier to get hired because we have such a problem right now with this. City councils and state legislatures in the past few years have passed dozens of ban the box laws, eliminating a box to check on job applications for those with a criminal record. The laws are intended to let employers consider an applicant's qualifications before deciding if past convictions disqualify them. Employers can still make background checks before hiring anyone. So if you feel like you need to do a background check, if you want to take the time to do it, you still can do that. Now, staff shortages are hobbling growth at residential cleaning company. I think it must be 00 Clean Incorporated in Tampa, Florida. The company is trying to increase its 21-person workforce by 50% and sign up new clients while demand for its services is soaring, Chief Executive Ole Bredberg said. Yet, the company won't compromise on a requirement that candidates have a year or more of professional cleaning experience, even though it could take as long as 18 months to hire 10 experienced cleaners. Quote, in the past, we have tried to hire people who show a good attitude and good character when we interview them, Mr. Bredberg said. Then they start working and completely underestimate how tough the job really is. So that is the downside of not thoroughly vetting and thoroughly requiring a lot of information from your employee, apparently. It comes down to skill set, they say. The move to ease education requirements dovetails with skill-based training. An employer strategy is gaining momentum. It reduces resilience and reliance on degrees as a proxy for skills and instead bases hiring decisions on demonstrable activities and abilities. And I think that is a great way to hire, is if somebody maybe doesn't have that degree, but they have the abilities. The trick is how do you know that in advance? So there's this, in CVS, for instance, they scrapped requirements for a high school diploma or equivalent for most entry-level jobs. The company also no longer requires grade point averages when recruiting college students. They just need to kind of zoom through, and it all comes down to rapid hiring, too. Jeff Lackey, who is a vice president of talent acquisition at CVS, says he puts it in terms of NASCAR. He says, you strip out everything unnecessary that slows down the race car. He says, if it's not needed, you cut it out. The company found that a higher grade point average didn't always equate to better job performance. I mean, so he said, so you cut it out. So that was very provocative to me. That was very interesting to me. He said, if you can pass the virtual job tryout, then why isn't that good enough? He said, it is good enough. So businesses like Olive Garden also are making things more rapid too. Let's show this quote here too. Darden Restaurants Incorporated, the parent of Olive Garden, rolled out a new tool this year to allow people to apply for a job and schedule an interview at its restaurants within 5 minutes. This is what they call rapid hiring. Waste Management Incorporated this year retooled their job applications for truck drivers and others that takes 3 minutes to fill out instead of as long as an hour. The goal is to prevent potential hires from walking away. And that's the other thing. People who you are looking to hire are probably going, okay, is it worth it for me to do this whole hour-long thing? So I think that the streamlining is good. I'm not sure about the other parts of this, and I'm interested, and I kind of wanted your take on this too. So are businesses adapting to the ever-changing workforce? Yes, but this is one way they're doing it. They're just making it easier for you to apply and get hired. Is that not a good thing?
Well, I think streamlining and making it easier is a good thing, but the general shift is to taking employees. They're so hard up, they're going to take employees maybe that they wouldn't have normally taken.
Right.
Which doesn't concern me as much as they will retain the employees long after, in a proper labor environment, they would have gotten rid of them, which means then that our quality of service, our quality of product is going to go down.
That's what I was
And I
thinking.
will tell you that this is not new. This rapid hire is not new to me.
It isn't.
No, it is not, because as you may recall, I used to own a restaurant.
Yes.
And we pretty much almost got down to just one question,
Wow.
and it was, do you think you can refrain from doing drugs while you're on the clock? And if the answer was yes, it was like, well, you can come in at 4 p.m. and we're ready to go.
I should not be laughing. I should not be laughing.
Keep in mind, the labor market was it's so tight now.
It is.
But in North Dakota, during the oil boom,
Right.
it was just as tight or tighter.
Right.
It was impossible.
Well, one has to wonder if we are going to see long-term ramifications of this whole workforce slow down and the people being incentivized to stay home down the road. And I think we are. I think we're going to see, you're right.
Service is going to suck even worse.
Yeah,
period.
I think you're probably right. I just thought it was interesting because I'd never heard of rapid hiring before in my life. I've heard of, rapid interviewing and that's such a thing, but hiring people in 10 minutes is just anathema to me. I thought that was interesting.